All right, let's talk about the graph of tangent. So tangent's going to be different from sine and cosine, different from secant and cosecant, completely different universe we're in now. Recall, tangent of x, we could usually just think of as sine over cosine, sine of x over cosine of x. So some things to note here. We can't divide by 0. If cosine of x equals 0, tangent is undefined. Tangent will have a vertical asymptote. So where does that happen? Well, we should be able to quickly graph cosine. Here's 2 pi, pi over 2, and 3 pi over 2. That's at all the odd pi over 2's. So if x is some n pi over 2, where n is odd, then tangent of x is undefined. It has a vertical asymptote. X equals that number. Some vertical line. Okay, what about sine? What if the top is 0? Think about a fraction. 0 divided by something that's not 0 is 0. If the top is 0, if sine is 0, then tangent is also 0. Sine and tangent are 0 at the same places. Where does that happen? Here's 2 pi, here's pi, pi over 2, 3 pi over 2. That happens here at the pi's. Or if we want to make it symmetric with the cosine, at the even pi over 2's. So that's at x equal n pi, where n is any integer, positive or negative. So at the whole number pi's, tangent's going to be 0. At the odd pi's, tangent's going to have a vertical asymptote. And this graph is going to look like this. Let's just graph out. Yeah, that's a little crooked. I think we can do better. Let's graph out a couple of cycles of tangent. So here's our main cycle. Has vertical asymptotes at the pi over 2's. And then the graph kind of looks like x cubed. Looks like this. Goes all the way up and down. And then this is one complete period. From here to here. We just keep repeating this over and over again. So my next asymptote will be at 3 pi over 2. And here at pi, I'm going to cross. I get an asymptote, and then I get kind of this kind of x cubed looking shape that goes up and down forever. And same thing back here. At negative 3 pi over 2, we get another asymptote. And at negative pi, we get another intercept. And the graph crosses over there, right there. And this just repeats forever. So my domain, we wrote it above, all reals. I can take tangent of any number except n pi over 2, where n is odd. Range is all real numbers. Look, this goes up and down forever. I get all the possible y values out. Negative infinity to infinity. My period. Everything is different for tangent. This isn't sine or cosine. The period for tangent is this distance here. That's just pi. Regular old tangent repeats twice as fast as sine and cosine do. They take a 2 pi to repeat. Tangent repeats every pi. Every 1 pi. Okay, what about amplitude? Tangent doesn't really have amplitude because it goes forever. Sine and cosine, they only go up to -1 or from -1 to 1. They've got a max and a min. Tangent doesn't. The closest thing we have to tangent for period or for amplitude is this height right here at halfway between the intercept and the asymptote, which in this case is pi over 4, 45 degrees. Tangent of 45, you should know by now, is 1. So that's the closest we have to amplitude, is the height of this spot right here, halfway between the intercept and the asymptote. So, amplitude's kind of a weird concept, and you'll see when we graph a more complicated one. All right, so completely different from what we've done with sine and cosine. You'll see. Let's sketch y equals 5 tangent of 2x minus pi. Let's make that pi over 2. Yeah, let's make it more interesting. Okay, so first thing we find is amplitude. Well, tangent doesn't really have amplitude. So I'm going to put this in quotes. Absolute value of A, the number in front. So 5. That's how high this point is going to be. That's the last thing we're going to put on, is this height right there of that spot that's halfway in between here. And I call it amplitude in quotes because it's not really an amplitude. All right, what about period? This is different. This is different than what we've done before. Period of tangent is pi over b. Regular old tangent has a period of pi. So when you change him, his new period is the old period, pi over b. Not 2 pi over b anymore. Tangent and cotangent are both pi over b, and you just got to memorize that. So here, pi over 2. My phase shift. Negative c over b, that one doesn't change. It just has a new meaning. Opposite of negative pi over 2 would be positive pi over 2. Over 2. That's pi over 4. Now, this is not going to be start. Remember with sine and cosine, secant and cosecant, phase shift and start are the same thing. That's not true anymore. This is going to be my new location for the x-intercept. That's where this spot right here is going to migrate to. This spot right here is going to be shifted. That's all a phase shift is a horizontal shift. That spot is going to shift left or right by this much. Okay, vertical shift. I am never going to give you a vertical shift on a tangent. These graphs are ugly enough, but we could have one. We could have a +7 out here. In this case, we don't. K equals 0. Okay, start and end. This is completely new. Take good notes here. Our start and end for tangent, we're going to find inside equal to negative pi over 2. And inside, whatever's inside the parentheses, equal to positive pi over 2. Those were the old asymptotes. See, look at this picture. These asymptotes right here, these spots right there, I want to know where they get migrated to. So what we're really graphing is this first period here. So we're finding these 3 spots here, start, end, and this will be phase shift. We'll figure out what numbers to put here, here, and here. All right, so what did we have inside? I don't remember. 2x minus pi over 2. So inside equal to negative pi over 2. In this case, the negative pi over 2s, they just cancel. We get 2x equals 0. So x equals 0. And then for n, 2x minus pi over 2 equals positive pi over 2. Add pi over 2 to both sides. So I'm going to actually write that out here. So just move this over. That's 2x equals 2 pi over 2, which would just be pi. Divide by 2, x equals pi over 2. Here's my start. Here's my end. These are my new asymptotes. That's what we're finding with tangent and cotangent. We're finding the new asymptotes. Okay, we still do the scale. X scale is still the period over 4. I don't remember what my period was. Pi over 2. Over 4, that would be, keep change flip, pi over 2 times 1/4, pi over 8. So let's make everybody 8s. 0 is just 0. But I could make this guy 4 pi over 8. And what was my phase shift? Let's call him 2 pi over 8. Okay, now with sine and cosine, I like to draw the graph first and then go back and label it. With tangent, I find it easier to do the labels first and then draw the graph on top. Okay, so let's draw our number line here. I'm going to need more space than that. Let me come down a little bit. Here's my number line. We put on our start and end. 0, hey, that's something special, and 4 pi over 8. So here's 0. That's the y-axis. And then way over here is 4 pi over 8. That's going to be an asymptote. And this is going to be an asymptote. Start and end. Asymptotes. Just happened to be 0, which is the y-axis. So that was start and end. Right in the middle there was the phase shift. 2 pi over 8. See, that was our phase shift here. So that's going to be one cycle. That's one period of tangent. That looks like that's crossing there. I'm going to draw that a little better. So if you're bad at drawing these, you could do these in 2 motions like that. Okay, that's one period. Now, I just keep repeating that. So I could count by my scale if I wanted. Notice I haven't even used the scale yet. There would be 1 pi over 8, 2 pi over 8, 3 pi over 8, 4 pi over 8. There are 4 of them in this cycle. There's start, 1, crossing, 1. Then we're into the next one. So now we're in this next cycle. There's 4 pi over 8, 5, 6, 7. And then the next one, eight pi over 8 would be my next asymptote. So here's my crossing, halfway between there. Notice you're always going to have like a low point, a crossing, a high point, asymptote. In each cycle, it's going to go asymptote. Right in the middle, here is your crossing, your x-intercept. You got a spot on either side. One of them's negative, one of them's positive. Then your next asymptote. And we could go backwards. So I could go 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's my next intercept. Halfway in there, is where we cross. And we were counting by 8, so let's label all these. Okay, last thing we got to put in is that so-called amplitude. And the amplitude, we just pick any of these high spots, the third spot over, like this one right there. How high is that? That's that amplitude. I'm going to put over here on my y-axis how high that was, and it was 5. Or I could have picked this spot here. Oh, I went way too high on that one. Let me erase that. Oh, I erased way too much. There we go. So this spot there, those are, it's just a poor drawing. That height there should be the same as that. It should all be the same across. Or this spot right there. We just pick one of those high spots, those amplitude spots, halfway between the intercept and the asymptote. Or I could have picked this negative one here. This one right there. How low does that go? That would be down at -5. And there is the graph. And that's a good place to stop.